Oh, wait, Frank, you're a part of Team Josh?
Yeah, man.
Aw. On that note, here's a word.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
A word. It's getting closer. Oh, no.
There it is. It ran in. We're like, here it is.
No, I won't stop. The way that I keep to deliver.
SJ.
I'ma make these haters reconsider.
BBC.
I kick back,
Oh,
stay
yeah.
high up for life.
Oh, yeah.
And now I won't stop.
I won't stop, I can't stop, even if I try. I won't stop, I can't stop, even if I try. I won't stop, I can't stop, even if I try. Even if I try, even if I try.
Welcome to Y'all Boys Talkin, a podcast about nonsensical improvement, where each week we not only talk about bettering ourselves, but how we can help you better yourself by hearing us better ourselves.
Damn.
Yeah, we do.
My name is Joshua Jean-Baptiste.
Frank Hernandez.
I'm Maximo Santana.
And our fourth co-host is currently away. He is in the Alps.
Always in the Alps.
The Nicaraguan Alps.
He's in the Nicaraguan Alps.
Anytime he's on vacation, like he's in the Alps.
Yeah, everywhere Steve goes is the Alps.
He's 100% not snowboarding right now. Apparently, it's hot as fuck out there.
I mean,
Hot Alps.
Hot.
he's in the hot Alps. But the four of us have known each other for quite some time, and we've developed this philosophy called STTT, straight to the top. Now, if I got struck by a baseball and suddenly had amnesia in 1954, and I woke up and I said, Max, what is STTT? What would you tell me?
I would tell you, STTT is all about wiping down the window of your life with the spray bottle of success and clearing it away to see right through to the top.
So
Your
the grime
goals.
on the window is like
Obstacles.
unsuccessful things.
Yeah, it's obstacles. It's
Obstacles.
trials
Oh,
and
yeah, yeah,
tribulations, you know? Got a bunch of grime there. And then the Windex is your grit and your determination. Right? You wipe it down, and then you get to see right through that window to the top. Your goals, your success, your best self. That's what this podcast is about.
Oh my God. At the end of the year, we're going to have a super cut of all of your explanations of what STTT is. We're just going to, that's going to be a Christmas episode.
Yeah, I like it. Nice little
Well,
gift.
thank you for that. Now, your week, guys, had a lot of things in it.
I know it's gonna be a 3-day weekend until like Thursday, and like it's weird because as an adult, I don't really keep track of vacations and stuff. I should probably keep track of vacations better than this, but the fact that I'm just kind of like really into my job and like this is next week, gotta do this, gotta do that. That all of a sudden I forget like I don't have work on Monday. It's just like I feel like I just got a gift.
Oh, yeah. That is
my
a perpetual nice feeling. That's pretty nice, actually.
What's also a nice feeling is working with other podcasts. And Josh, your friend Diana, has a podcast called We're So Young, and we just actually ended up being guests on her.
Oh
podcast.
yeah, this is a moment in time where the episodes are colliding. It was a crossover
Collision
situation.
course.
Yeah, Diana's a dope local actor, artist, creator, podcaster, and we decided to slide over there to her podcast, and she interviewed us. It was cool because we got a chance to test out our dynamic in foreign environments.
Super foreign.
You know what I'm saying?
Talked about it
But
in
stay
article.
tuned for that. I believe it's coming out on the 15th. And then we actually asked her to join our show. She's going to be joining us on a little challenge, check-a-rooney. And we'll see what that's like. It's going to be really exciting. Because
Yeah, stay tuned.
it's an opportunity for us to show STTT-ness to the people around us. And the people around us are in the same world as us. And the World Wide Web told us about today's STTT of the week.
STTT of the week.
Hey, okay. look at Josh working on his
Turned it around there in the fourth quarter. I thought it was.
Yeah,
I didn't know where that
it was
was.
a low game, fucking, and throwing that three.
Yeah.
Like,
Last minute.
He's falling off the court.
STT of the week is a moment in time where we celebrate a person, place, or thing that is exemplified, it's exuded, has trailblazed the STTT-ness. And this week, we're going to stack our bricks up and give our flowers to Lego. Not Egos, Lego. Tell us about why it's Ego this week, Josh. So we found out this week that Lego has achieved a milestone in their climate change, climate handling policy, and they have achieved 100% renewableness. On top of that, they were so punctual, they were ahead of their projected target for that. That is amazing. In honor of that, they built a massive wind turbine made of 167,000 bricks. And it's working too. To celebrate them building a awesome wind farm in the Irish Sea. And turns out that Lego has honestly been kicking ass for damn near 82 years. I mean,
right. And nowadays, any new Legos you buy, you're going to have the peace of mind knowing that they were built with wind power. That's how you get your Legos. And if you know anything about Ireland and the Irish Sea, oh boy, is it windy. They got a lot of power.
Oh, Max, you were there.
I was in Ireland, about a year ago. And
did you capture any wind?
My hair captured all the wind and almost.
Did you get all your energy from the wind?
No, I got it from potatoes mostly and stews. Also really good Indian food in Ireland. But that's pretty cool. They were 3 years ahead of their goal, which
that is amazing.
Blown out the water.
I am a big fan of making things efficiently for the sake of the betterment of the world. I think we need more of that, and hopefully a lot of Fortune 500 companies can look at this and follow in the footsteps of Legos. They promise that you won't step on their bricks.
That's a tall order.
I mean, revenge is best served with climate policy.
I like that.
Revenge?
That's a quote. I'm going to get that tatted.
No, actually, I just started investing recently, and initially I wanted to put my money into like these major companies that are going to probably give me a much larger return in the long term. But then I found this other thing, which is this is now an ad for Swell Investing, which is an investing platform that helps you invest in high growth companies that are innovating in clean water and other different things to help the planet. So if you have some money to put out and you'd like the nice little return on investment, what a better return on investment than, saving the earth.
Yeah. I hope their audience and participants swell to their platform. On that note, we're going to take a quick break. Shout out to Lego. I mean, I don't like stepping on y'all, but, I fucks with y'all climate policy. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. BRB. Amen.
Attention. Are you thirsty? Do you have dry mouth, lips, and eyes? Are you suffering from increased heart rate, low blood pressure, or kidney failure? Are you tired of fever, unconsciousness, and delirium? I know I am. Contact 1-800-WATER-WATER-WATER or locate your nearest faucet. Make sure to drink from a reusable container.
And we are back. Friendly reminder, you're amazing. For the meat and potatoes of our episode, we have our next segment, our Challenge Checkup. Challenge Checkup! At the top of the year, we each gave each other New Year's resolutions, or as we like to call them, challenges. And over the course of this podcast, you'll be seeing us pursue these individual goals and fail and succeed and celebrate. But here is the stakes.
Our 10-year high school reunion is coming up on June 29th, and we must complete all 12 challenges, 3 each, by that time. If not, we must give a dissertation to our fellow alumni about how we failed ourselves and each other. But if we complete all of these challenges, we will be showing up to the reunion in a Tesla, blasting
some sort of song related to a series of success.
Amazing.
I like Big Facts.
By 2 Chainz.
Big Facts by Anik Khan is still fire. Please check out our playlist, Songs to Flex To, available on Spotify, and get all the good shit right there.
All the good juju. So, now that we got all the brass tacks out the way,
Max, how did your challenges go?
Hey, I got 3 challenges. First one was from Steve to get 3 people on the Best Lives model. Second one was from Frank to write the first 60 pages of my great American novel. And last but not least, Josh challenged me to see a therapist. Gonna start with that one right there, guys. Overall, I feel like I had a pretty tremendous week. Very, very successful in my eyes. I think I got a lot done. One thing I did not get done, though, is make any calls to a new therapist.
No!
Yeah.
No!
So,
we've gone a giant circle.
Yes. So
Time is a flat circle.
I kid you not. I hate to give the lamest excuse in the book, but I legit forgot. Like I kid you not. And I know it's on a website. Like I know it's been on every episode of the podcast. Like
We've been doing it for 17 weeks.
Yeah, I'm not proud of myself for literally making a lot of progress on 2 other things and being like, oh, I know there's one thing I need to. There's like another thing I need to. What? It was like the thing with the, and then yeah. So that's pretty much what happened there. But I do have a list of people I do need to call, so I gotta just make those calls. And I plan on doing that this coming week.
What's the best way we can help you remember this, Max?
Remind me, I guess, at any point in the week, just be like, hey, Max, how's that therapist search going?
Okay. So Max, it'll kind of be like, so we both grew up in New York, and if you're from New York from a certain time, at the news, it'd be like, it's 10 o'clock. Do you know where your children are?
Uh-huh.
Like, just the news sites would just say that shit.
Yeah.
So I'll be like, Max, it's 10 a.m. Do you know where your therapist is?
Okay. Yeah. Or just ask me how the search is going.
Yeah,
Like,
I don't think Max should stalk his therapist.
I don't need to know where he is at 10 p.m. You know?
Can you geo-locate your therapist, Max?
No, I think it's a little much.
Client privilege violation there. All right, so we'll go ahead and check in with you on that one.
Though of all the challenges, the fact that you went and saw the therapist, so technically it's complete. This is more about continued.
Yeah, and that's something I definitely want to do. So,
but don't let that
exactly
diminish your fire.
Not at all. Got all the fire.
Okay. All right, what you got next?
So for the novel, which is tentatively called The Machine, I went to work on it this week, and I believe I left off, it was like 26, 27 pages.
Nice.
Yeah, so
That's
I'm
some
almost
real
at the halfway
progress.
point. I think I'll be crossing over the halfway point this coming week. So I'll be very excited to celebrate that milestone next week. And what I found myself doing a lot is doing a lot of research into this underground kind of hacker scene that used to be really thriving in the early 2000s. That's where the book is set. And there's a really cool thing that these groups prided themselves on. It's 2 things that I find hilarious, right? Again, they're just underground hackers. But what they would do to they had to have these signatures to let people know like this was authentically released by this one group. Oh. And some of their signatures would be ASCII art. ASC2 is a computer language, right? And what people would do is use different symbols you could find on your keyboard to make these visual artworks that were like many lines, big and long and wide. Right. And they'd be like fire-breathing dragons and grim reapers cutting off people's necks and fire. People love using fire. And it was just built off of like letters and symbols on your keyboard, like underscores and dashes and equals and plus signs. They'd put them together in these large images so they'd make like a big picture.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and it was pretty complex. And people would leave that when they release like a document, right? Like if I release like a key generator to like crack some software, right? I would put
that's old school.
Right. I would put that file on there because it was super difficult to make and hard to replicate. And you knew it had to come from me, essentially. So it was like a little signature you could have. Another signature they would have. Yeah, another signature they would have is their keygen would have music on it, and it was like a very particular genre of like these chip tunes type music. Yeah. If you ever downloaded like
if you didn't download the most legal things back in the day, you were very familiar with
this music, right? Which is weird. Like these guys are hackers. They're like making software available for free illegally, but then they were like, let me just write this this techno track really quick onto my keygen, right? Yes, I can actually play some of my greatest hits for you guys here so you guys can see what they sound like because they're amazing. So I started including some ASCII art in the novel because when my character is like making a name for himself, he's got to make himself legit and valid. And also there's like these other hackers he looks up to. So I thought there'd be no better way to show people who these people are and what they're into, then to include like their signatures in the novel as well. So I started including some art in there, which I never kind of envisioned, but it looks really cool. And so I'm playing around with like those being like chapter titles. You seeing like the hacker's signature like in the ASCII 2 art. And I think it'd be really cool to include that in a book too. So
That's super dope.
yeah, so including some I guess they're illustrations, but it's text technically too. So
Can you make it like a birthday card where you open it up and it plays music? So you open up your book and it plays the keygen.
Yeah, I wish. Yeah, I'll look into that. But I started adding a lot of ASCII 2 art into the novel, and it just fits. Like and I think it's kind of unique too. I've not seen that in another book, so I'm excited to see how I can use that in different places to add to the story.
Well, Max, as far as the momentum of your of the page count, do you feel like it falls in line with the time schedule that we have to?
Yeah, I do feel like you say momentum. I think that's the key word here. I think I'm picking up a lot of momentum, and certainly I'll have to write more than I have been writing in previous weeks, but I feel like I am gaining momentum. And I put a few things in place to make sure I keep writing stuff, so I just have to keep it going, and I think I'm in a decent place to do that. So just gonna keep it going and see what happens. So I think it's gonna come down. It's probably gonna come down to the wire, but pretty much just like every other writing deadline I've had, that seems to be par for the course. So I'm not super scared of that either.
Par for the course. That's a good way to put that, Max. What about your third one?
So for my next challenge, getting 2 people on the Best Lives model. Best Lives is gonna be it's amorphous right now. It could be a nonprofit organization, could be a website, could be an online digital product that people interact with, but it's the idea that everyone should be using social media for their strengths, for their purposes. It should not be something you do to just scroll endlessly, swipe and like, and hope for the best. Best Lives is the idea that everyone should have a very direct purpose with all their social media channels. And that's going to kind of change how you see it and how you use it and what you get from it too. So Steve challenged me to find 3 people to get onto that. I had been working with one person the past few weeks. That has still been going strong, which is great. And actually, later this afternoon, I have 2 meetings today. So I'll be having like my 3rd or 4th meeting with the same person I've been talking about recently. And then I'll be having a first meeting with a brand new person again on Best Lives.
Oh, okay.
So we'll be doing a kind of social media consultation and figuring out what this person wants to do with their life in general, and kind of talking about what we're going to do with their social media accounts to make sure that does happen in their lives. So that's 2 out of 3 should be down today. So I'll be 2/3 done with that goal on the end of this day, ideally.
Ooh-wee.
So yeah, I think again, 2/3 done with one goal, and then 50% done, some point in the next week. And I already did my other challenge. So hey, I'm trying to knock these things out the park, guys.
Knocking them in the kisser.
Woo!
Yeah. So I'm out here doing damage to these goals. All right. And overall, I do feel like I'll be able to complete all 3 of these in time. Because once I have these 2 meetings done today, see how much involvement that's going to require for me. The first meeting is always like a big kind of temperature check to see how much involvement will come from me, or how much involvement is going to be coming from the person I'm working with. So based on that, I'll be able to figure out when's a good time for me to get that 3rd person in, and then I should be good to go with that goal. But yeah, the first meeting is always the one that takes the longest. We're gonna have to do like this whole inventory. We gotta scour all their social media channels, and also a lot of people just have a hard time talking about what it is they want to do, right? Like, it's always a daunting question. What is your goal? Where do you see yourself in 5 years, right? So just getting that out of somebody always takes a long time. But once we got that, I'll be able to figure out how much involvement I need to put in there.
Ooh.
Wow.
Max, you've cleaned your window. It's like there's a couple smudges on there still, but like you got to buff that out, and
oh yeah, I'm making progress. I got the whole thing sprayed with Windex, and I did the bottom, and I'm working my way to the top right now.
Yeah, and sometimes you need to let it set in a little bit, make sure to get like the real tough grime out there.
Yeah, let it soak. Yeah,
but you're doing it, man. I'm proud to hear that. That's fucking great. That's fucking great.
I'm happy.
Okay. Wow.
So
let's get some hip hop horns for my dog Max.
Hey,
Let's get some explosions in there.
Yes.
And you know what? Let's get an exclusive. Exclusive.
Yeah.
all
Josh,
right.
how have you been?
Whoa.
Yeah.
Usually
Josh,
I'm the one that like asks
Yeah, we're trying to turn things on their heads.
Things
this day
have
and age,
changed
man.
now.
We got to change it up. You know, it's just the end of the road. We're looking at the light at the end of the tunnel.
All right, well,
switch
you
it
know
up.
what? All right, let's get into it. So my challenges
All
are, Frank challenged me to keep a consistent workout schedule. Steve challenged me to rein in my financial habits, keep a consistent budget. Max challenged me to make some music. Guys, I failed again.
What do you mean by that?
What?
My first
Please
challenge, I
elaborate.
failed, which was to keep a
Which
consistent
one?
workout schedule.
Oh no, what happened?
No,
Or
I went
what didn't
once
happen?
this week.
No.
Once. Got it. What'd you do? That one
Nothing.
time. Wait, you went once and you
That's
did
not,
nothing.
that's
What do you
not,
mean?
that's not
No,
how
no.
workouts work.
I went to the gym and I did cardio at
Okay.
the top of the week, and I said, "All right, let's go." And then I didn't.
Got it.
For
What do you
6
think?
days after that,
What made it so difficult this week?
I have a very skewed sense of discipline that I need to work on.
Discipline
I need better discipline habits.
in general.
I think so. It's leaking into my achieving of my challenges. Yeah, I know.
I think it's time to bring out the big guns.
Yeah.
So Josh,
As the warden of the challenge.
I am the warden of this challenge, and you had a really successful week 2 weeks ago. You know, when you threatened to give money to a campaign to someone whose name I really don't want to put on this podcast anymore.
Okay.
And that was a good motivator for you. Mm-hmm. But that can't be the only motivator for you. You have to look out to who Josh Regine Baptiste wants to be. Look him dead in the eye and be like, yo, am I the type of nigga to just give up on my ideas, or am I going to follow through on these? If you follow yourself as a nigga that doesn't want to follow through with this, then that's the nigga that you is. But I know that's not who you are. So if you need me to, just like I said to Max, to be like, hey, it's 10 a.m. Do you know where your workout is? I will do that for you.
I will gladly accept the help, Frank.
I will do that for you. I will check with you. It's not even going to be a weekly checkup. I will check up with you every morning.
Look
Like,
at
hey,
that.
man, you working out today?
Or when are you working out today?
Or when are you, or even better, when are you working out
Yeah, and if the
you can
answer is
tell-
I ain't, all you got to do is say I'm not
today?
working
You got to
out
tell,
today.
much like we told Steve to just write, I did not have anything to write today in this journal.
Yeah.
I want you to tell me it's like, I did not want to work out today.
And that's
if,
fine.
if for 5 days out of the week you tell me I don't want to work out today, then you've confronted yourself and you told yourself like, this is the person that I am, and I'm not interested in that future Josh that you saw. So all you have to do is admit that you don't want it. That's fine.
Yeah, I believe that's a piece of Josh advice too. Like, to acknowledge the failure and just to state it is important. You can't just like gloss it over. You can't just like pretend it didn't happen. You should, in some way, shape, or form, acknowledge it. confront
Acknowledge it.
I accept. I absorb. Now I will synthesize.
All right. What about your other challenges?
For my finances, I was awful. I ordered Uber Eats 4 times this week.
4
That's
times.
a lot.
Yeah.
After our conversation, Max,
Yeah, we sat down. We did talk
but here's
about
the
finances.
thing, though.
Oh.
Yeah.
The stipulations or the elements we discussed in our conversation did not pertain to this week, because we're like, all right, 1st and 15th, we're gonna break down what you need to spend your money on, and everything should fall into place. But this week wasn't the 1st and 15th.
Oh, yeah. So it wasn't even your money, right? Who knows? Who knows whose money that was that you spent? Yeah. You're right. Got it.
I was just bad. And I just
So
wasn't.
why so much Uber Eats?
I didn't really have to, dog. I was at my crib, kid.
Yeah.
Josh, how,
That's what usually
let's get macro with this. How are you feeling?
Like in life,
Yeah.
paralyzed.
paralyzed by many things I need to do.
So yeah, just looking at the nature of these actions, do you feel like you had enough time to like cook and work out this week?
I did, and I just didn't do anything. I think I need to get rid of video games.
Yeah.
And I think I need to get rid of any other sort of extracurricular things that are sapping up my time.
I mean, just pick one.
I have to get rid of video games. That's the hardest one. That's the one I don't want to do the most, so I think I have to do it.
Okay.
But that could also cause a rebound effect. If you get rid of something that you're so into, that you enjoy so much, that it gives you a lot of immediate gratification, it can cause a whiplash effect that can have you go back twice as hard.
Right. What are you going to replace it with is the question.
You know, because you can...
Seriously, I need to read. I have a lot of stuff to read.
Okay.
I have 1, 2, 3, 4 books I need to read right now.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, you have that directing book. Did you get that?
And the editing book you were talking about.
I have the editing
one.
I have a
short
story
coming
one.
up.
Yeah.
Because look, we can talk about like these specific challenges. You know, why you didn't work out, why you did buy all these Uber Eats. But you mostly have to go kind of dig into yourself more than anything else about like the choice paralysis that's currently, you know, hindering all this forward momentum on things that you feel will be beneficial for you like next week or 2 weeks from now or a month from now. It's more of like a right now sort of thing. So we need to kind of dig into that a bit more.
Yeah, what I think is happening right now is I say yes to a lot of things, and it's just a big mishmash of stuff that I think future Josh is like this super disciplined guy that's gonna like get all these things done. And then when future Josh comes, he's like, what is all this?
Why you threw this all on me?
Who said yes?
Who
said
told
yes
me I was
to
gonna
all
do this?
Yeah, who thought I was going to do this? Past Josh?
You really thought I was gonna do this?
Yeah.
Nigga, you was doing the same thing you was doing when you planned it.
Yeah, also sounds like Steve's infinite small projects that get thrown his way.
It's so...
And I think we have a lot of people asking us from time to time, like, hey, can you help me out with this? Can you help me out with this? I think you really do a great job with this, and that. And no doubt we would do a great job with it.
Oh, yeah.
But it's not people asking me things. It's me creating more things.
That was my thorn last week, where I'm like, you know, setting expectations that are unrealistic.
All right, look, proactive choice. I'm gonna cut out video games, and I'm gonna cut out various substances that do not help my productivity in my day-to-day life. And we'll start there, and we'll see how it shifts. But I also need to wake up early.
It sounds like 17 different types of changes.
Yeah,
can we commit
And
to
then
one
Frankie
or
really
two?
inspired me today to take my phone away from my bed. That is wonderful.
Oh, I'll talk about we actually talked about that on a previous podcast, but I'll talk about that a bit more in my challenge checkup.
I'm gonna try those things.
That helped a lot.
Okay.
And lastly, the one flower of my challenges that has been thriving is music.
Hey.
I got this sampler, and I turned it to like a little house DJ. I had a couple of mini concerts in my room. My roommates came in, which is listening to me jam out on this little machine. That inspired me. So I locked down like a beat. I already started writing for that song, and then I put on another beat yesterday, and I'm adding a couple of more verses on that. And then I just set up a appointment to meet with a buddy of mine that has a studio. So I'm going to go in there and just start solidifying some shit. So that goal should be done in about a week or two.
Yeah. And truthfully, I think I'm looking at this as an opportunity. If you have energy to go create music, wonderful. I'll keep channeling that. And if next week you want to continue to make music, I think you should. And even if you still keep stumbling on the finances or the working out, I think that's great energy to pour into the music, since those two things particularly are also very, very, very relatable. I think a lot of people would listen to a song about I didn't keep my money right, or like I was supposed to work out. I think those are two things that a lot of people go through, and it might make for some music that someone listens to and I was like, me too. Yeah.
Okay.
And also in general, it is still getting into your goals. If you're making music about that stuff, you can make music about that stuff and still work out and still get your money right too. But you can also speak from experience if that's better.
All right, Frank, what you got?
Okay, I have 3 challenges. My first challenge is to maintain a consistent meditation regimen, which was given to me by Josh. Steve challenged me to try the no S diet, which is no snacks, no sweets, no seconds, for 4 weeks. And Max challenged me to speak up more at work concerning social issues. Now, let's start with the last one. Speak up more at work concerning social issues. I've mentioned many weeks beforehand, but this would be basically just standing in the office wishing a nigga would cause some shit. But nothing happened this week. Nothing I feel of note really occurred. So I feel it's a solid, successful week on that.
Cool.
As far as meditation goes, 7 out of 7. I'm at my streak is at 21. So 3 weeks in a row. And one thing that has helped me significantly is, as Josh alluded to a little bit earlier, was that I have ended a relationship with something I've been sleeping with for a long time. We were good pals, like we cuddled up, kept me warm, kept me informed through the world. But I just decided to take my phone out of my bed. Like, if I want to use my phone, I can't be laying down. I can't do those 2 things at the same time anymore. Because I would still meditate. Like, the previous weeks, I've been meditating and doing every week, but I wake up early and then completely ruin all the wonderful effects of waking up early because I just scroll on my phone for shit that don't matter.
Yeah.
And the more that I've done this, the more I realize how little that actually matters. I love going to the movies and I put my phone on Do Not Disturb. And anything that was important for me to get to, I can get to in 2 hours. Like, if someone really needed me right now, they can call me. If it's an emergency, people can call you. There's other ways to reach you.
Absolutely.
And, it's that fear of missing out. And I think we just have that because we live in a digital generation. We have notifications for everything that we just kind of feel like we always need to be on top of it, but we really do not. And taking it out of my bed has helped my meditation, has helped everything out in amazing ways.
Yeah, if I can expound on that for just a second from the book you put me down on, Frank, Digital Minimalism. It kind of speaks to some of the theories, right, as to why people have such a hard time putting their phones down. And that book, on top of Sapiens by Yuval Harari, if you read Sapiens, you'll learn about how social animals, such as human beings, really take into account the thoughts of others when building community. It's super important, super critical. Like, if you are in a nomadic environment like humans have been for the longest time in their history, you really don't know if you should accept a stranger in there or not unless you have someone else to vouch for them. And you take in a lot of social feedback. Introduce social media to that aspect, and you have so much more access to social feedback than a human being has ever had. And again, we're hardwired to really believe that this social feedback is very important information for us to ingest when we're making a lot of decisions. So when you can just pick up a black mirror from your pocket, open it up, and then take in all the social feedback you want, some people are just going to be so drawn to that information and really think of it as important, even though these aren't people that have to figure out into their social situations or not. It's just social information that they know is important to ingest, and they're just going to want to ingest that endlessly if they can, and some people do.
And to the detriment of our mental health, to the detriment of our bodies, to our physical health. We're just stuck in this loop, and we know how tech works. We're all pretty knowledgeable guys on tech, and it's made for us to consume more. Yeah,
when you also add in the profit motive to a lot of these companies, where some of the brightest engineers in the world are focused on monetizing our attention on top of that. Not just that, we're hardwired to believe this is important information, but then someone is profiting from us continually scrolling on these apps. Those two things combined can lead to an environment where some people are going to have a very, very, very hard time putting the phone down.
Continuing to expound on this, Twitter's changed a lot in the past number of years. Even if you're not following a lot of people on Twitter's also going to show you what those people have liked.
Yeah.
What those people, who those people follow, tweets from people they follow.
Oh my God! It's just an endless
just
cycle.
to give you just to give you something to scroll on.
Right.
Just
to
so you can
continue
feel
to populate
like
your feed.
You can follow one person, but if that person liked anything, it's going to show up on your feed.
There you go.
It's a lot, but I'm breaking out of that chain. Don't sleep with your phone. And lastly, my final challenge is the No S diet, which I got 6 out of 7 maxes. I had 2 weeks where I knocked it out, 7 out of 7, 7 out of 7. But last Wednesday, kind of a tough day at work, and I emotionally ate some McDonald's. I emotionally ate some McDonald's, and I had to sit on it. I had to sit on it and be like, why particularly did I do that? I've been doing so well on this. It's that feeling of like, oh, I deserve it. No, the true thing is that there's a goal that you're trying to reach, and you need to fight for that. And I'm here fighting for that part. I actually just went down a notch on my belt.
Hey,
let's get some horns. Let's get some horns. Let's get an explosion. Let's get Dracarys.
That's a great way to lose weight, actually. You lose a lot of weight.
Singed by dragon breath? I don't think so, buddy.
I mean,
lose all your weight. Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's felt amazing. I've been working out pretty much nonstop this entire time, and like I feel significantly better. The pounds are not like flying off, but they're definitely heading in a downward direction. And it's also recontextualized my relationship with food. The biggest thing is sugar. So like now there's some like mixed nuts that I'm like, it's a little too sweet. Like my taste buds have changed.
Nice.
Went and got a DiGiorno. So like obviously I've talked a lot about fucking DiGiorno on this podcast. I had a DiGiorno on Friday. And I was eating had a pepperoni one, and then like I was tasting the pepperoni. It's like I was like, what the fuck is this? Like all of a sudden, like it tasted like shit. Something that I easily demolished, an entire pizza by myself within an hour, fucking a couple weeks ago. I taste that pepperoni and it tastes like absolute garbage. So that's probably the last DiGiorno I'm going to eat for a very long time.
That's probably why it's not delivery anymore.
Are you saying DiGiorno used to be delivery, and then they're like, wait, guys, we're doing it all wrong.
This doesn't meet our standards.
But that's the biggest like benefit I think I've had from this no S diet, and also like I've restricted, like trying to. I'm not counting calories, but I'm more aware of my portion control. That's the idea of like no seconds part of this, where sometimes I'm like, yeah, I would eat the whole pizza. Why would you do that? And yeah, it's just all emotion. So the moment I feel full, I immediately stop, and I'm satiated.
It takes discipline, man.
It takes discipline.
Yeah, but you need that for any diet.
And it feels good. It feels good because and I know why Steve, and I wish Steve was on the podcast to talk about it more. But like I get it from that I was given this challenge because that's just one thing I've had a really difficult time. I have a weird relationship with food ever since childhood. So the fact that I've had to do something that completely shakes it up has definitely made me reevaluate this on a deeper level. And yeah, killing it.
Okay.
Nice.
So I'm looking for 7 out of 7 next week.
Well, guys, thank you so much for the realness. I think this is the important part of this show. That little kick in the kisser. I'm excited to make it happen. Audience, I know you are. Team Josh, I'm sorry I'm letting you down.
And as part of Team Josh, I will be there every day now.
On that note, here's a word from our sponsors. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere.
Get out of here.
What are y'all doing in here?
We're reading books, and you don't want any part of this shit.
You're reading books?
Yeah, of course we are. Can't you tell?
Come on, join the party.
Oh, no, I can't.
Yeah, you definitely don't want this. Get out of here.
Yeah, you know what? I don't want to strain my eyes.
It actually relaxes your eyes.
Doesn't it need a lot of battery power?
You won't ever need batteries.
Oh, okay, well, I don't know. They sound like they're hard to find.
You can find a wide variety of them at your local library.
It's not gonna fry my brain cells, is it?
It makes you smarter.
Sounds kind of expensive.
It's the cheapest form of entertainment there is. You don't want it.
I think I want to read a book.
Okay, but just this once. Come on in.
Reading books. You def want to hit of this. And we are back for our final segment, our rose, our thorn, and our bud.
Oh, I got my rose, I got my bud, I got my thorn. Here is the rose and the thorn and the bud of the week. I got my rose and my thorn and my bud.
Rosebud Thorn is an opportunity for us to give gratitude to our week. Your rose is something that happened this week that you're grateful for. Your bud is something that you're looking forward to next week. And your thorn is something that was a bit of whoa! In your side.
Whoa! I like that one, Max. Whoa!
Why don't you start us off, Max?
Sure. I got a rose. I got a thorn. I got a bud. And let's start off with a thorn. In my building, they had dryer maintenance. So everyone had to come and open their apartment so someone can check on our dryers. They came and they fixed our dryers. I'm doing air quotes right now. Mm-hmm. I'll scratch the mic so you can hear my air quotes. They fixed our dryer.
You know, we could have just added an air quote sound.
Oh, the traditional air quote sound?
Yeah.
Sorry, continue.
So after they fixed it, it started making this incredibly loud, distracting noise. And I love running my dryer overnight so I can just wake up to clean stuff, right? And it's impossible now because the noise is just like this. It sounds like someone's about to burp, but like for hours.
Yikes.
Yeah, so it's definitely not fixed. And it makes a loud noise. So I got to get that checked out. Rose, two things. Number one, my boss got us lunch on Friday, which is a great thing to happen on any day. But on a Friday, yes, amazing. Yeah. But furthermore, yesterday I went to Napa, wine country.
Ooh.
And had myself a splendid weekend with my roommate, with a bunch of our San Francisco friends, with people visiting us. It was just like a wonderful. We took like family photos at like this courtyard where people took like wedding photos. We just chanced upon a beautiful moment and was just like, all right, everyone stay here. And we just like fell into this like randomly wonderful, well-balanced portrait of like of an arrangement. So it was wonderful. We had a bunch of wonderful wine. We had a sommelier at one of these wineries that just kept like pouring probably much more wine than we paid for, which was really good. And we definitely used that to our advantage.
And if you didn't know we were a 1% podcast, this is your
no. I'm in these streets, you know. You feel me? I'm out here, like, you know.
I'm out here, wine country, whatever in these vineyards.
Wine country, you know, keeping it real. You know what I'm saying? Like,
keeping it real in the vineyards.
These niggas be fucking with me, the sommeliers, man.
Hey, yo, Martha, where you at?
Wine.
Yeah.
Shit.
Big Martha, Hookie and Dada.
Reem.
Yo, Reem's out?
Reem was out. Yeah.
Reem's out.
Oh, carry on.
So my bud is the Warriors are in the finals with the Toronto Raptors, and I'm probably having a parade in my near future. And maybe that's me
not
celebrating
Oakland.
a little.
Max himself is going to start.
I am having a parade at
Max,
the Warriors parade. I'll have a parade
have
myself.
been in a lot of public celebrations of things this year, man.
People love to invite me to celebrate. Yeah. I'm a great celebrator, I must say.
You are a really great celebrator.
Yeah. I think when people envision a good time, it's easy for them to picture me somewhere in the background.
It's
what
Max
I'm learning.
and then
yeah. Right. When you're putting together all the accoutrements for your celebration, like there has to be some like guy with crazy hair in the back, like doing a handstand or something like that.
So it's like a checklist. It's just like cups, plates, Max doing a handstand.
Yeah. Absolutely. So I'm okay to be included on that list of accessories. So if I get invited to parades and, onesie parties and yachts and stuff, I will take it all. But I'm still represented. This ain't no 1% podcast.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I still,
All right, Frank, what you got for us?
Yeah, I love that Max is in these streets.
Frank, what you got for us?
I got a thorn, rose, and a bud. My thorn is, so I'm working with a bunch of new clients and stuff like that, and 80% of the time it's going great. You know, have a good rapport. I'm excited to be doing the work. I feel like I'm doing really well at it. I'm inspired. But then I remember, because I freelanced before I have this current job, I freelanced for a number of years, and I went through a lot of ups, a lot of downs, much like our STTTs. There's just a whole lot to freelancing that I both miss and do not miss. One of the things that I do not miss is finishing some work for the client and that client ghosting. So I'm like, hey, I just spent about 30 hours on this project. So what do you think? Also, pay me. And I up to this point, I haven't heard from them yet. I put a lot of work into that. I pushed other things back to do this. And
The life of a freelancer.
So that money has not appeared in my account yet. And you know, I feel some type of way about that, and it's definitely
As you should.
in my side. Because my rose is that I'm killing it. I said last week I was gonna kill it. This week I'm killing it.
Wow.
Like, work has been really good. Work has been really, really good. I feel a lot more clear about what I'm doing at the office, at my main job. Like, my boss went from telling me, like, hey, so what's going on a couple weeks ago, to now being like, wow, I really like this last thing that you made. I'm like, thank you. All that. I've been putting some of my work more out there. So if you follow me at Frank8PM, I sometimes share some of the pieces that I work on, and the response from like other people of telling me like, hey, I really like this. I'm like that.
Hey.
So it's been good. Like I definitely feel a lot more inspired to get a little more creative with it, with that, as well as my freelance work. And aside from that one motherfucker who hasn't paid me yet, it's been a really good relationship with my other clients, and I want to keep that going. And my bud. Yeah, and my bud's a bit more nerdy because I love me some professional wrestling. Last night was AEW, which in professional wrestling, the NBA of professional wrestling is WWE, which is the biggest company in the world. But they've gone without any competition for a number of years. So there's a smaller company called All Elite Wrestling, which just had their first big event yesterday, and it was a really good event, and hopefully this will give WWE a reason to not be so complacent, because if you're at the top, you know, you can get complacent. And we actually talked about this a bit on Diana's podcast, We're So Young, that complacency really doesn't lead you anywhere. It could actually lead you to go down. So WWE was definitely on its way down because it had no one to compete with it. So I'm very excited that there's someone officially out there who's putting out some good, entertaining professional wrestling out there to compete with them.
Okay.
Josh, what you got?
So my thorn was that I had to pay a lot of money for a parking ticket this week. And it was not fun. That's all I want to talk about that. My rose this week was that so this week I went on a date.
Oh yeah, was it nice?
It was nice.
It was nice. She was nice.
It was nice.
Oh my
And that's
God,
all I want to talk about out of that.
That's so nice.
And my bud is that next week is a new week, man, and I'm gonna kill it.
Wow.
Hey man, you got your boys with you. All
I'm
right.
gonna kill it next week, and fuck you if you don't think so, Satan.
The anti-Joshes. Well, there's the team Josh.
Yeah.
All the Josh
Josh
haters,
haters.
including my bad habits.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, let's end the show. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for sticking with us. Hope you had a good time and were inspired by the way we achieve our goals. Thank you for
didn't.
listening.
Or didn't.
Yeah.
What?
How we achieved or didn't achieve our goals.
Bye, guys. Let's end it like that. All right, bye, guys. Bye. No, we're fading out. We're fading out.
I
We're
like
fading
that
out.
ending.
We got a couple shout outs that we want to give. Shout out to Geno Music for making the theme song. The song is called Won't Stop.
Eddie and Lewis for making the interstitial music and giving us the good vibes. Follow along with our challenges at y'allboystalkin.com. Subscribe to us via iTunes, Spotify, Google Play, and SoundCloud. Also follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at Y'all Boys Talkin'. New episodes every week.